Why do people keep falling for this? These scams, these prediction markets, this is all insider trading, guys. These people know exactly what's going to happen. They put a bunch of money on it, and then a bunch of dumbos come around and go back and forth on whether it's going to happen or not. But the guys who made it happen in the first place are making a lot of money off of you. Gambling is a litmus test. Like, be careful. Don't do it. It's not worth it. Unless you're, like, playing cards or something and you're having fun. Otherwise, like, dude, stay away from this stuff. It is not okay. There are no regulations. Funny thing is, Polymarket asked to work with more Perfect Union. And they exposed their scam instead. So let's check it out. Boom, 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 boom.
Prediction markets.
Prediction markets.
Prediction markets have exploded.
It's so entertaining.
Platforms like Polymarket,
Kalshi.
Polymarket.
If you had me saying potato on Polymarket, you just made a ton of money.
A few weeks ago, Polymarket reached out to More Perfect Union, wanting to collaborate. Specifically, they wanted us to integrate their odds into our reporting to give you new insights into the issues that we cover. So naturally, before diving into a partnership, we had to do our due diligence and look a little closer at the business model and the big claims that Polymarket's CEO likes to make.
The thing that drives me is that there are billions of people who could find value in this. A diverse group of market participants is more accurate than any given expert. It's the most accurate thing we have as mankind right now, until someone else creates some sort of super crystal ball.
Kalshi, their biggest competitor, makes similar grand claims.
It actually enhances democracy in a way. It increases voter engagement.
It's actually the best mechanism to get more truth about who's actually going to win.
You might see ads from them about how you'll make rent trading on their platform, or how you can quit your part-time job. Looking at how these companies pitch themselves closely is really important, because the thing is, prediction...
Guys, if it's too good to be true, it's too good to be true. Don't fall in this trap. It's just a clown show. These guys are all a bunch of scammers, and they are professionals at it. They got tech in their background, so that's what they utilize to steal your money.
Markets don't just exist in a void. They're deeply related to the larger structural problems in our economy right now. At a time when every day has a new political or economic crisis, from multiple foreign conflicts, domestic unrest, sweeping layoffs supposedly due to AI, massive budget cuts to social welfare programs, and the crippling of the American retirement, Polymarket and Kalshi are seemingly offering working class people a solution.
America's so
you
job.
can regain control of the chaos, get an inside edge on our rigged economy, and stand to make tons of money. But is that true? We dug into their marketing tactics, talked to experts, and went to their grocery store to ask, will prediction markets give working people more power?
The long-term vision is to financialize everything and create a tradable asset out of any difference in opinion.
Or by financializing everything, are they recreating the worst aspects of the system they claim to be fighting?
It's all corruption-based. Remember that.
To get a better idea of what Polymarket is all about, we went to a recent project of theirs that we could get behind. A totally free grocery store in New York City.
Do you know about prediction markets?
Nah, I don't know nothing about that.
I'm familiar with it, but I wouldn't say I know it fully in depth.
I've heard some tell about them. They hedge against whether you win or lose. Yeah, I don't actually like that.
They're doing good.
Right.
They're doing good. Like, everything's expensive in New York. It's good to have something like this.
So my question is, why is Polymarket trying to impress working class people with these marketing stunts? We'll get back to that later. But to get some basic definitions down, we reached out to an expert. Dustin Gauker is a seasoned journalist, an expert on the gambling industry, and writes a newsletter specifically on prediction markets. So we sat down to talk.
Prediction market is where you trade on outcomes of events in the real world, yes or no. Simple as that. Where you can bet on who's going to win an election. Is it Kamala Harris or is it Donald Trump? Who's going to win tonight's basketball game, the Lakers or the Knicks? It is that
already exists.
Times 1,000. Anything that could happen. Will there be more than 12 inches of snow in New York tomorrow? Kalshi, for instance, all contracts are $1. If something is 50-50, you're buying a contract for 50 cents. Somebody is buying the other side of your contract for 50 cents. At the end, one of you gets $1.
The idea here is that the current market price is the probability the event will happen.
In the final month of the campaign, most pollsters were saying the race was too close to call.
Guys, if you're going to do this, just do it with your friends or your family, so at least the money stays within your circle, you know? Like, that's more playful than just gambling online with things that just are out of our control.
That was conventional wisdom. Polymarket relied on the wisdom of crowds and correctly predicted the outcome.
In theory, the financial incentives here force people to be honest. If you're wrong, you lose money, so you better be right. This is supposed to be the ultimate filter, signal from noise, the truth machine. With enough people taking part in these bets, with enough liquidity, you get more accuracy. There's no house in this transaction, as prediction market companies are really fond of reminding us. They don't care if you win or lose, unlike sports books. They're just facilitating the transaction. It's
But the
matching.
people making the
Sounds
bet can
almost
have
friendly,
influence
but
on
there's
the
a catch to all
outcome.
this. For these markets to be truth machines, to get the most accurate predictions, they actually kind of need insider trading. Take a look at this market, for example. What will happen before the video game Grand Theft Auto
Rotten
6 is
Slug, I'm
released?
sorry to hear that.
A lot of people know
I grew up
the
with my
answer
parents
to these
just
questions.
screaming at each other all the time. You know, it's over all sorts of shit. I feel like that was with like their way of verifying their love with each other, and it's unfortunate. I'm sorry you're going through that. You know, try not to listen in. Try not to take it personally, because it's not going to do you any good. I used to sit on the stairs and listen, and it just broke my relationship with my parents overall, you know. Just remember who you are. Peace is the way, no matter what. When you, like, get in your own relationship with someone, just know that, like, that is not love. You don't have to act like your parents, you know. I'm sorry. Let's watch this. Let's learn about some goobers scamming the scammers, huh? Let's have fun.
People who work on Drake or Rihanna's teams, or who work for their record labels. Maybe you work at OpenAI and you know the release date for GPT-6. You should probably place a big bet and get some money for that knowledge. The markets are meant to price the probability of the event, so they incentivize people who have high conviction, people who have insider information, to come collect their bounty by placing big bets on sure things. Placing these bets pushes the market probability in the right direction, making the prediction market more accurate because you know the answer. But it also means, in a lot of cases, these markets are inherently unfair.
There's been advocates, including Polymarket CEO, that insider information gets us to the truth or gets us to more accurate probabilities. And honestly, not wrong. If that's the goal of a prediction market, you actually want insiders trading into it.
This is Dr. Robin Hanson, seen
I can't
by
believe
many
they're
as
just
the
so
godfather
frank
of
about
modern
it.
prediction markets, held up by the Polymarket CEO as the expert.
In a prediction market, there aren't investors. It's a betting market. We create the prediction market in order to learn things about the company. If the main purpose is to get more accurate prices, then basically we want as many insiders as we could. Insiders is great.
See, that's just absurd. And, like, how do you even legislate against something like this? I don't think you can. It's just like, if you have a high-ranking position in a company, like, you could just continue to make even more and more money. It's just like an extra income.
Please, insider trading.
Basically,
It's just not really an
police
issue for
society.
prediction markets.
Now, prediction markets would respond to this criticism in a few ways. Kalshi says they're rolling out new tools to find insiders. They require...
Yeah, finding insiders. Like, the cool thing about this is, like, it eventually shows you, like, how soon a stock is going to move and in which direction. It's really genius that they came up with this, but yeah, you got to bring these people in.
ID verification to trade now. Polymarket recently rolled out their own new insider trading rules months later, but the simple fact is they can't possibly police all the traffic that they're getting.
The Oscars, Rotten Tomatoes scores for movies, how many streams there will be in Spotify. Like, surveillance will catch a large bet that's abnormal, right? But the whole universe of people who has this information, across all of these markets is in the tens of thousands, hundreds of thousands. Yes, they know who you are, but can they definitively say this is insider trading? Or can somebody who works at Spotify just tell a friend, hey, look, I know who had the most streams today? How are you going to catch that?
And there's another problem here. What even is an insider in the case of a global event? Senator Chris Murphy has had his eyes on prediction market insider trading, so we sat down to talk about it.
So when you go on Polymarket or Kalshi, you assume there's some system in place that is assuring that the bet you are making is not rigged. But all of the bets on government action are rigged. because somebody in government knows the outcome. Many of the other bets are rigged as well, because there's a handful of very powerful people who know the answer to that question and are pushing the markets in one direction.
His stance was that these rigged markets, ones where thousands of people know the outcomes, shouldn't be traded at all.
And they might even be able to like pull the market in one direction ever so slightly over a couple days, a couple weeks, and then when it's real cheap, hit it hard on the other side right before something happens. There you go. That's how you make a windfall.
And honestly, it's pretty hard to disagree with that.
If it's a rigged market, if somebody knows the outcome ahead of time, you can't offer a bet on it. That seems pretty simple.
Even defining an insider in this context seems impossible. I mean, what about this guy who sat outside the Super Bowl rehearsals with a listening device so he could time how long the national anthem would be before betting on prediction markets? Is he an insider? I mean, I know he's literally outside of the stadium, but in this case, he had information that the public didn't have. And we can't even solve insider trading in traditional financial markets where people have been trading for decades. Oil traders made millions just hours ahead of an Iran announcement from President Trump in traditional financial markets. Why should we believe that a couple of tech bro startups have solved the problem that no one else could?
You know, let's take, for instance, a bet on what I'm going to say in this interview. We're taping it. There's a whole bunch of people in the room right now. They all know what I said. They're going to go out and tell a whole bunch of other people what I said. There's going to be, you know, by the end of today, 100 potential people who can bet on that market knowing they're going to make money. Restricting me and me alone from making that bet is pointless. You should be restricted from making that bet. Everybody in this room should be restricted from making that bet. But that exercise of deciding who has inside information and who doesn't, that's like, it's fruitless. You're never going to be able to track down everybody that heard what I said in this interview.
Okay, so setting aside the insider trading mess, here's the real kicker. Prediction markets aren't even as accurate as they advertise.
The most interesting example recently is the February jobs report. They forecasted 60,000 jobs would be added in February. Guess what? Job report was down. They weren't even close. There was like a delta of 150,000 jobs.
Take a look at this recent study out of Vanderbilt University that looked at prediction markets in the 2024 election. While 93% of predicted markets correctly predicted outcomes better than chance, accuracy fell to 78% on Kalshi and 67% on Polymarket. So the Polymarket CEO was on 60 Minutes taking a victory lap, and the markets on his platform were barely better than a coin flip. So these markets aren't all that accurate, and the core of the business model depends on insiders to help
But
finding
some people
the truth.
are incredibly
Who's winning
accurate.
here, and more importantly, who's losing?
If history has taught us anything, it's not to root against the underdog. Where your voice becomes a position.
These are deeply uncertain economic times. So it's tempting to turn to platforms like prediction markets as a way to get ahead. For a lot of young people, it can feel like prediction markets are offering a means of success when the traditional paths have been denied to them.
Dude, it's just absurd how many people I know, as soon as they're able to gamble, it's just like their favorite thing to do. Like, you got to be real careful when you're young. Why do that? Take that money, save that money, buy something that's going to be worth more. It's ridiculous.
You can see that idea constantly in how these companies describe
It's a
their
tax
markets.
on the poor.
These are investments, they're event contracts, used for hedging risk. It's the democratization of finance. You can see it in how they talk about information. They're the future of news. They're covering all the breaking information. They're monitoring the situation for you. And you can see it in how they advertise themselves.
The great thing is like a way to monetize your knowledge, same way like an Uber driver monetizes their free time by driving.
Oh, that's totally different. That is not a good analogy.
Monetize it in speculation. That's okay.
No.
I think this is the most pernicious part of prediction markets. The slick ads, the financial phrases, the PR stunts.
Gambling is
all meant
not
to take it.
the same as like utilizing your free time in a side hustle. Something that would equate to that is like using your free time to start a business, start a shop online, something of that nature. Get on YouTube, get on Twitch, get on Kick, start streaming. Just That would equate to not gambling.
Advantage of your economic anxieties. But hey, you know what? Some people will get paid for this. How many people exactly? Well, one analysis showed that 0.04% of traders were capturing nearly 70% of the profits. Doesn't exactly sound like the democratization of finance as we know it.
In traditional gambling, those people would be banned.
99.96%.
It's the same thing every day. I end up winning 4 or 5 bets, and then once I build my value, I make one bet that changes it all back to the beginning.
I have lost like $25,000 on sports betting. How do I fix this?
Long story short, I had an unexpected financial emergency, and I'm really short rent money and really desperate. Does anyone have a low money, under $20 high payoff bet with a strong chance bet I can tail? Thanks.
I started pretty irresponsibly, and so here I am at minus 14K. But I'm confident if I stay disciplined, I'll make it out.
This is shockingly common.
That's the fallacy of the mind. It's like built into our nature to think that like, oh, we'll come up again, and like that's the power of thought and everything. But these gambling markets are basically rigged against you to take advantage of that.
How to, if people come trade specific event, how to get them to trade on other events, and how do we cross-sell them, and how do they basically come back, and how do you make sure that they stay engaged.
These people are donating liquidity, adding money to the markets for insiders and professionals to collect their bounty. Because
this is so
no
sad.
matter how much they use the term investment, it turns out
they're mostly being used to gamble. It is so people can gamble on things, whether it's sports. And again, mostly it's sports, at least in the U.S.
How much of it is sports?
85 to 90% right now. Kalshi is the leader in the U.S. At Polymarket, it's different. It's more like 40% is sports and 60% is everything else. But it's just people gambling.
Take a look at the front page of Kalshi on any given day. It's basically all you'll see, sports. And when it's not sports, the other 10% seems to also be gambling. Some people are betting on whether or not the price of Bitcoin will go up or down.
That's traditional trading,
every
right?
15 minutes. You can bet on whether or not clavicular will be the next Ayatollah of Iran. They might call them event contracts, but if you're betting on the Super Bowl coin toss, you aren't investing, you're gambling. But don't just take it from me. Look at this early ad Kalshi used to run. Sports betting is legal in all 50 states.
No, it's not.
By the way. Kalshi is now offering a $1 billion prize if you predict a perfect March Madness bracket. And the way that CEO Tariq Mansour promoted it is one of the most blatant examples of their direct appeal to working people. 90 minutes left to attempt generational wealth. That's the CEO of an online casino saying you owe it to your grandchildren to place bets at a time when Americans are making early withdrawals from their retirement accounts at record rates. Again, prediction markets are occupying this very strange position in the economy, where the message seems to be
where you at, middle of the night,
save nothing, and gamble everything.
Be somewhere else in the world.
So, given that these markets are obviously gambling,
hope you're doing well.
Why are they so interested in pretending that it's not?
Historically, every time there's truly groundbreaking financial innovation, it has been called gambling.
Well, first of all,
because
they don't want you to know how much you'll probably lose. One report from a Citizens Bank analyst showed that prediction market traders actually lost more than they would have on traditional sports books in the first 3 months. And for this story, I talked to prediction market traders, journalists, experts on gambling and public health, and here's what I heard from all of these people consistently. We are in the middle of a gambling public health crisis, and this crisis is hitting young men particularly badly. We've taken a very addictive behavior and we've put it in the hands of everyone, everywhere, all the time. You don't have to make a trip to your bookie or to the casino. Place a bet on the game, any game, no restrictions. The casino is in your pocket. On prediction markets, the age of participation is 18 instead of 21. So get started.
And you're telling me they're not taking advantage of the youth. These psychos are gonna rot, man.
Even earlier. When you combine the addictiveness of these platforms, the availability, and the uncertain economic times, you get a potent combination. And being part of this wave of gambling crashing over young Americans, profiting from their suffering, it's not a good look. which is why you'll notice that they're very careful with their language. It's why they've mostly stopped running ads using the word betting. It's why they shut down their short-lived CalShiU program to partner with college kids and make campus clubs. It's bad PR. Kalshi in particular is being taken to court in multiple class action lawsuits. This one claims that Kalshi deceives sports bettors by pretending to not offer gambling. They even point out that all that no house stuff they're always talking about isn't strictly true. Sometimes Kalshi, the company, is the one on the other side of the event contract, meaning they collect the full winnings if you lose. So I guess there is a house after all. But beyond the massive harms to our public health, the difference between the words investing and gambling is a difference of billions of dollars.
If I'm Tarek Mansour, why do I absolutely want to be regulated by the CFTC and not by, say, the New York State Gambling Commission?
Well, that's a no-brainer because you don't pay taxes to the state. The CFTC just exists to like, here, you can do markets. Do what you want. There's regulation around that, but if you're a state-regulated sportsbook in New York, you're paying a 51% tax. You have to pay a licensing fee to offer a sportsbook in that state, and then multiply that by every state that has sports betting that's been legalized. Regulated sportsbooks have to do something on problem gambling. They have to provide a number that people, if they want to get help, they can get help, tools to help them if they are in trouble.
So they're just jumping through a loophole.
Regulated federally by the CFTC, they get to dodge all of this. No high taxes, no onerous regulations, no restrictions on which states you can play in.
This makes my blood boil, bro.
Being sued by over a dozen states. Most of them
Are you guys
saying,
using
hey,
this?
This is...
Anybody watching this? Are you using this? How has it turned out? Be honest. Have you made money? Are you losing money? Do you gamble in other ways? Tell me, like, what's going on in this world? Am I being naive? Because I don't see this as an optional path by any means. I see this as a big SCAM, scam, bottom line under it. God.
Clearly gambling, and you need to abide by our state laws, get a license, and provide protections. But the CFTC chairman is coming out in prediction markets' defense.
Today, the CFTC is taking an important step to ensure.
This makes like traditional gambling and casinos and everything seems so legit. Because at least they're paying their taxes, they're paying their registration fees, all that kind of nonsense. And they do kick out the guys who win a lot, which is unfortunate. But compared to this, what in the world?
These markets have a place here in America. To those who seek to challenge our authority in this space, we will see you in court.
And I'm sure this has nothing to do with the fact that Donald Trump Jr. is a strategic advisor to both Kalshi and Polymarket.
What do you know?
Earlier in this story, we talked about the potential utility of prediction markets. And I want to be clear, I do think that's real. I think they do have the potential to aggregate information in a novel and useful way. But currently, it seems to just be that. Potential, not reality. Currently, it's gambling, sports betting, betting on war, and exploitation of economic anxieties.
Does that make you feel better, guys? Betting on war? That's just sick. It's as low as it goes, right? Betting on murder in the name of democracy. Wow. What has happened to humanity? Everyone's just out to eat one another. Yet there are places in this world where people are peaceful, loving, and live day by day in the now and don't worry about this bullshit.
Should be evaluated on what they do the majority of the time, not what their potential is. So let me put it to you this way. Imagine I've made a machine with a big red button. When you press the button, 9 times out of 10, this machine punches you directly in the face. 1 out of 10 times, it feeds you a cookie. Have I made a nice cookie machine? Or is this just a machine that punches you in the face? This is the reality of prediction markets.
So,
let's get back to that Instagram DM.
Yeah,
that
how do they
started this
scam
whole
the
thing.
scammers?
As we were wrapping up our piece, we started to see more reporting on prediction markets that told us something important. We're actually just one outlet that they reached out to.
Right.
These companies now have entire networks of paid influencers and social media boosters. They even
Yeah, all these social media influencers and people at the top that get worshipped like they're celebrities. You know how much money they make? And they just keep it to themselves? Where is Robin Hood? You're looking at him. You guys give me follows, you give me subscribers, you give me attention, you buy my shit. Well, when I'm ready and I'm able to and capable of doing so, I'm going to help people fix their lives. I'm going to help heal the world. These people just amass hordes of wealth. And they give nothing back to the people. Nothing back to the average day citizen. They do not improve their communities. They do not clean up the streets, fix the potholes, improve public transportation. No. These billionaires with football teams and baseball clubs, they can't even build their own stadiums. They need the taxpayer to do it. Why? I don't get anything from it. You pay hundreds of dollars to go see a bunch of grown men play sports, some grown women play basketball. Why? None of them are giving back. Oh, they pretend to. They do some little charity things for the Instagrams, but comparatively to the amount of wealth that they've amassed, they do nothing. They buy themselves big, giant mansions, nice, fast, fancy cars, dinners that cost more than the amount of money that some people in this world make in a month to a year. Why? Does that help them sleep at night? Does that make you want to support them? Give them your subscribe? Give them your attention? Give them your donations? It's sickening. All these people, they're influencing you, influencing the masses, but they're doing nothing to change the world. Little by little, they might try just to make it look like they're doing something or to get zero on their tax returns, their tax payments. Amazon, what do you pay for taxes? This world is full of sick people. It's about time that people, billions of us, stand up and do something. If we all come together and we move as one, because we are one, change will happen. If we had billions of Robin Hoods out there ready to rock and roll, do you know what would happen? Yeah. Freedom. Peace. We are peace builders around here. You got a problem with that? Sayonara, get out of here. But if that's you, you want to see change in the world, stick around. Help me out. I'll help you out. What goes around comes around. We reap the plants from the seeds we sow. And I got nothing but love for people. Except those who do damage, violence, corruption, coercion, making secret deals behind doors to steal the wealth from the poor. Why the poor? Because they know if we all come together, they gotta hide. That's facts, folks. That's facts. Peace and love.
Reach out specifically to young female influencers to attract more women to the industry. And they're courting powerful players from both parties to help them open doors in Washington. This is clearly all part of their broader strategy. These PR stunts, the free grocery store, the influencer networks, all just make it easier for them to prey on economically vulnerable working people. That's why some people, like AOC, have called for advertising bans, modeled off tobacco regulations. Prediction markets are clearly obviously gambling, and they should be regulated at the state level by the proper authorities, the ones who will actually hold them accountable, make them provide reasonable protections, change the way they advertise, and who they can put their online casinos in the hands of. And beyond that, some type of markets, they probably shouldn't exist at all, as Senator Chris Murphy proposed. The cost of financializing everything can be seen in this one quote from the Kalshi subreddit.
Love don't cost a thing, folks.
Took a loan of $2,000, had $1,000 to my name,
Love
went
one
all
another.
in, had a pretty good 5 days run, lost everything. What should I do? Rent,
Stop.
phone bill, everything is coming in a few days. I tried taking the risk to move my mom out and make her proud, but I have failed her and myself. Please give me some advice.
Stop gambling. Just stop. Alright, guys.
Thanks so much for watching. If you like this video, be sure to like and subscribe to get more and more Perfect Union directly in your feed. And if you have other ideas for stories that you'd like us to investigate, be sure to leave them in the comments below.
Absolutely. Guys, do the same. Go over to More Perfect Union. Hit that subscribe. Hit that like. These guys are true journalists. You know, it's, journalism's rare these days. And we really got to support these guys. And, yeah, hopefully they can enlighten some people to make wiser choices and decisions with their money and their futures, their now. I hope you guys are doing well. Work hard, guys. Find something that you really love and move after it. And you're feeling lazy, okay, hit that snooze button, that's fine. But get up when the next bell rings and get to work, even on your days off. Focus on you and becoming better every single day. I know it's difficult at times, like Rotten Slug here is in the comments, parents fighting in the other room. Like, tune it out. I know it's hard. Stay strong. Be you. Forgive them. And forgive yourself. Find something that you love and you're passionate about and make it happen. Whatever comes to your mind, listen to that little whisper in the back of your head. Meditate on it. Lean up against a tree outside. Sit on the ground. But don't gamble. Please. For the sake of us all. Anyways. On to the next video, guys. It's been real. I hope you enjoyed it. Comment down below if you've been messing with these markets and the outcome. Let's start a conversation. This is a community. We're here for each other. This world's going to fix itself, and it's the best time to be alive. We're going to see it happen. So there's that. Be excited.